Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I'm your host, Denise, and this week I am going to review an indie film. The name of the film is The Zone of Interest. Wow. I was intrigued through the movie review at the, when I was watching another movie at the theater, and this was one of the previews, and I was like, this seems interesting. And the actress, Sandra Hüller, is in this film. She was also in the film Anatomy of Fall. So Sandra Hüller and Christian Friedel play Rudolph and Hedwig. And they are a married couple. He is the commandant of Auschwitz. And they, as a couple, are striving to build a dream life for themselves and their family in a house with a garden that is located right outside the walls of Auschwitz. So he is the commander, and his job is, well, we all know what his job is. He is the overseer, making sure that everything that goes on behind that large concrete wall is done efficiently, effectively, and that's it. In this movie, it's loosely based on the 2014 novel by Martin Amis. And so, again, he's a devoted father at home, and she is a devoted mother at home. The camp itself is kind of unseen because they have created this beautiful garden. It's a botanical masterpiece, and it is meticulously taken care of, tended to, and in one scene you have the wife showing off the garden to her mother who has come to visit, and she's explaining to her what each flower is, which plant is, and how they smell, and why they're located in this particular area of the garden, and so forth. So we know what this gentleman does during the day, but they appear to be a normal family when the bell rings and it's time to go home. They host picnics in their backyard. They have a swimming pool. The kids appear to be normal, and they have friends, and everybody seems to be happy and having a great time with each other, and being totally oblivious to what's going on the other side of this huge concrete wall. You can hear what's going on, and as a theater goer, I'm trying to follow this family and their family dynamic and what's going on, but I'm sitting there and I can hear the gunshots. You can hear the screams. You can hear the commands being given, and you can hear the furnace operating, and then you can see the smoke coming from the furnace atop the chimney top. So, I'm sitting there looking at, I see, or I can hear as a moviegoer, the horror, and then I'm looking at these people portraying people who seem normal. There are scenes in the movie where the wife is showing off her new fur coat and her jewelry and her perfume and all of these, luxurious materialistic things that she has acquired. And then you realize, as she's explaining to, the friends that she's showing off to, that these items were stolen from the people who are being tortured on the other side of the concrete wall. And, at times I'm just, I was probably watching the movie and my mouth was wide open because of what in terms of the history this took place. We know when this took place, and you see and hear and the evil that this represents. And how can you be so calm and oblivious to what's going on? The movie itself didn't have a particular plot outside of, this is who these people are when he's not at work and what she does all day at home, and this is who he is when it's time to go to work. For example, the crematoria was, scheduled to get an upgrade, if you will, and there is a scene where that particular conversation is taking place with the commandant and all the other people whose responsibility is to keep that place running. And I'm like, wow. And they describe in depth how in depth the intricacies involved in making this crematoria, bigger and better than what it is. So later in the film, and the film isn't 2 hours, maybe an hour, 40 some minutes, but you realize there was something happening in the film that I just couldn't figure out. But, I finally realized what was going on. The daughter is a sleepwalker. And so, she would leave the home and sleepwalk, but she was doing something. And I couldn't figure out what is happening here. What is going on? Well, what I believe she was doing was leaving apples meticulously placed, or something, some type of food meticulously placed, maybe potatoes or whatever, in the field or the area where these inmates were forced to work, and hoping that they would find them. And so that part, I'm like, okay, there's some sort of humanity going on here. But again, she's just a kid and she doesn't know the horror. All she knows is, I'm sleepwalking and I'm just placing things for other people to get because I happen to be a kind person. So that is my review. This movie still may be in select theaters. And again, I was just intrigued and just wanted to see what this movie was about from this gentleman's perspective and his family. This movie is nominated for Best Picture. And the Academy Awards are coming up in March. So we'll see how it fares, but it is a Best Picture nominee. So if you want to just check it out just for that purpose, go ahead and check it out. All right, folks. So I'm going to jump into my Nailed It for this week. And my Nailed It this week comes from the movie Soul Food. And my Nailed It is Vanessa Williams. And if you remember that movie and that kitchen scene where, she and her siblings are discussing what to do with Mama's house and Mama's finances and how they're going to keep things running, and she's the one who's digging in her pocket more than everybody else and taking care of all the bills and so forth. And then she gets so upset that she kind of lets it spill that her husband has been doing the cousin. And when she pulls that butcher knife out and chases his raggedy ass through that house, I was there for it. I was there for it, and I was hoping she would catch up to him and really stick it to him. You see what I did there? So she is my nailed it. If you just want to go back and just take a look at that one scene, Soul Food, Vanessa Williams, the kitchen scene, epic. All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Denise, and there I will be. All right, moviegoers, you know what to do. I need you to go see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Until I see you again, bye-bye.